inside the circle, episode 7.3. We got rankings, individual rankings for you. So, we're starting off with 132 right now. Sean, let's get into it. 132 pounds, and then we go 138. And then we'll just go in weight class order, unlike last time, 152. Deal? Break it down.
132, we got some new shooters coming in at 132, but the same old sheriff leads town there. Jonathan Furnace is on top. We talked about him last time we did our rankings here. Kind of a solid guy. I really think everyone's wrestling for second. He's been nothing but fantastic since the first rankings. He beat then ranked number 1 in the state, Corey Shy.
Yes.
6-3, 3 takedowns, 3 escapes. Again, I really think everyone's wrestling for second here. And Jonathan Furnace.
Okay.
Number 2, Chandler Menard.
Ooh.
Made a debut last week, as we talked about, at Olentangy Orange. He wins the tournament. I'm really not sure what to make of that because his teammate was also in the finals with them, so I don't know the depth there. Goes to Top Gun, though. Gets second. Again, I thought he got favorable drawing there. He still did get second. Loses to aforementioned Corey Shy in the finals there, but a great finish for him and a great coming out party to start the season. At number 3, James Weimer. It appears he will not compete at his Super 32 weight of 126 and in fact compete here at 132. I think this is a big impact in a lot of reasons. I think him moving up to 32 creates a spot for Chris Volpe, who Weimer has clearly had his number in the past. So that's going to help Olentangy Liberty with the getting Chris Volpe out. Plus, Weimer coming up here now has to face these two guys, and he might not get those final points that he would have got it down to 26. So
True.
I think that's kind of may come into a team race as well. But James is a gamer. In the dual meet 2x4 a couple weeks ago, he bumped up, wrestled Demas, number 1 in the state at 38, and then also wrestled Jonathan Furnace at ranked number 1 at 132, and he really had a good showing. Although he came out on the losing end, the fact that he wasn't afraid and the fact that he wanted to do it, his attitude is what wins matches at the high school level to me, and I do applaud him not being afraid of those big matches.
CC! HS!
So anyways, we'll put James here at number 3. At number 4, we're going with Lee from Watkins Memorial. 7th in the state last year, we talked about in the first episode. Won the Olentangy Orange tournament over state qualifier from Finley,
Yes.
Jofflin or something like that.
Jaffville?
Close
Maybe?
enough,
Yeah.
close enough. They're not in our district. Close
Yeah,
enough.
who cares?
Then he got second at Marion as well, though. At number 5.
What?
Number 5, former state qualifier Dooley from
Yes.
T Valley. When I talk to coaches, we talk about weights, we talk about what kids are going to go. I think that the district in a whole really doesn't think that Dooley has a shot here. I hate to say it, they all think like, man, this kid's really up against it. I don't know if he can get out. I don't think he's the biggest long shot to get out as most people think. I seen him up at Brecksville. He didn't place there, but he wrestled Moses again for a placement match. He did win the Porter. I don't think this kid's as big as long shot as everyone else thinks. I think he might surprise somebody, but this really is a tough haul for everybody except the top 2. I think these bottom 3 here, I think they're going to start out 3, 4, and 5 there. So it'll be interesting.
Nice. Let's move on to 138, Sean.
At 138 there, even with the defection of Connor Bortman, this still remains a fantastic weight team here. The top 3 guys are just absolutely fantastic, and I'm excited to see how they all shape out here. At first, we're going to put Dominic Demas, DC. Hey, Jess.
Nah.
No, they didn't take it with him there?
No.
Dominic Demas, I mean, it's no secret who he is and what he does. Great takedown guy. Always has a highlight reel for somebody, and we'll slide him at number 1. At number 2, and this was close. I really wasn't sure I was going to put 2. I really had this guy number 3 until his fantastic finish this weekend, but Greg Brusco, Delaware Hayes. I really did have him 3 here, but he went through the Top Gun. Really was not challenged at all. Was just absolutely clowning fools all the way through the bracket. Great finish for him. They have wrestled before. It was a 2-point match at the Greater Miami Valley tournament that Demas came on top of. But if we learned anything from Demas, the second time people wrestle him,
It's a little
closer match. I mean, David Sparks last year proved that, and a couple other people did as well. So could be an interesting match next time they wrestle. At number 3, we're putting Mateo Lieberger, a guy we talked about last rankings about coming down to 38. I really think he's going to end up 30 here, and I really think I would love to see like a 3-man go here.
Yeah?
I'm not sure if anyone could go. I think it would be 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 for all. I think Briscoe has the ability to beat Demas, but I don't think Lieberger can beat Demas. I think that's just kind of a bad matchup there. So
Okay.
I think that would be interesting, and I'm curious to see how the pairings go at sectional, or what teams go what to try to get the split there. I'm really curious to see this three-man go here.
Right on.
At number 4, we kind of struggled to find someone here at number 4. At the beginning of the season, we thought 138 was going to be like a 10 deep, a 9 deep, what 45 was. But most people kind of jumped over 30 from 38. They went from 32 to 38 or stayed at 32 like Glebe did, and just kind of created a little bit of a void here, which is amazing to me because the average weight of a high school kid is 136. It's crazy to me. That is the average weight of a high school kid, according to the reports or percentages or whatever. That's true.
A Google search, maybe?
Do it. But number 4, we're going with Garrett from Hilliard.
Yeah, that's solid.
Darby.
Yeah.
Solid kid, 3-time district qualifier, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe I think he didn't make weight
2.
one year.
Yeah.
But anyways,
He qualified
he
for it.
did. He didn't make weight in the sectionals, but
Yeah.
got first at the Porter. Again, this is another one of those weights where an unknown could absolutely. Maybe somebody else from 45 comes down. Maybe Matt Snyder pops in there.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else. Petro, what's his name? From Zanesville.
Bah!
Pedigo or Pettiford or the guy from Zanesville. I think he might even pop up here. Again, this is kind of an unknown, and right
It
now
might
we're
be
going to put.
Pettiford.
Might be Pettiford from
Yeah.
Zanesville might pop in here as well. So we'll put Garrett there at number 4
All right.
now. Average weight of a high school kid.
145.
152. 145.
yeah.
I'm going to skip over there, but we'll go back to 145.
Good.
145 is just not showing the strength that it did in the beginning to be. Some of these kids have moved. Some of them haven't showed up at the weight, and some of them have just looked flat at times here. We're going to put Rooney, who has never wrestled this weight, but I just think he's going to end up here at number 1. He took his first loss of the season. Today, actually, at the CIT, losing to Mossing from Toledo Central Catholic.
Yeah.
2-1 maybe in overtime, or
Yeah,
2-1 in some victory.
ultimate.
Overtime, so it means the right out there he lost. Solid kid. I think he'll be a heck of an out here at the state tournament at 145, and we'll put him at number 1 right now.
Okay.
At number 2, we're going Tanner Miller of Lancaster. I was actually going to put Tanner Miller on top at the beginning of the week when I started to put these rankings together, but then Miller goes and loses to Cody Nostine at Pickerington North 7-1. And I don't think the loss really surprised me, but the fact he lost 7-1 means he couldn't score in 6 minutes against Cody Nostine, and that was surprising to me because Tanner's kind of a high-octane guy. He's always going, and that was just kind of a surprising loss. Not a surprising loss, a surprising result loss to me.
Okay.
So I just want to put that out there before I get any emails.
I'll get him.
At number 3, we're going with the aforementioned Cody Nostine. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? What are you doing here? Cody
Writing
Nostine.
down names that you're
Again,
telling me.
I've talked about Pickerington North being this mixed bag to me. Cody Nostine gets second at Old Tennessee Orange, then beats Tanner Miller, but then gets beaten a round of 16 at Top Gun. So it's kind of like, man, when this kid is on, he is on, but when he's not on, he's just not on. Nevertheless, a solid kid. For as good as this weight is, I really can't see any situation where these 3 don't get out.
Okay.
I just don't think anyone other than these 3 can beat each other. I think there's kind of a little gap here. And these are 3 solid kids, and like I said, I would be shocked if these 3 don't get out. Shocked. I would be shocked for as deep as this weight is. I still think they're just that much better than the rest of the field here.
All right, give me my 4.
At number 4, we're going to move him up 2 spots here. Former state qualifier from OLIB, Trey Grenier. Yes, that's your Grenier. Got off to a little bumpy start. Got it back going. Hasn't lost a dual meet. I think he may be 4 or 5-0 since the injury at the Old Tennessee Liberty tournament. As Mark mentioned, Liberty's going up to Wadsworth, so we're going to find out where he's at right now in the season. Good showing for him, but again, the guy's running back in the form, and now he's getting back in the mix here. At number 5, a guy that we were really impressed with, thought he was making the adjustment to 145 well, but then the wheel kind of came off on him, was JoJo Terry. We've seen him up at Dublin Scioto. Even though he won the tournament, he kind of looked shaky to me. I just wasn't comfortable with the win there. I thought it was a little closer than it should be. 4 days later, he gets pinned by Tanner Miller in the dual meet tournament. And then 2 days later, he loses to the freshman Jared Ball. No, not the wrestling coach from Reynoldsburg, but the freshman from Hilliard Darby.
Yep.
Like 7-4 maybe, which is really alarming to me. So he's still not out of it, but that bad 2 weeks is kind of moving him down in the rankings. And
It happens.
these are the 5 kids we're going to rank right now at 145.
How about 152?
152 is just a weight that's absolutely in flux to me here. I think that the Cade Kowalski enigma or what's going on with him is still in play here. He has not wrestled since Ironman, so that's a long time. I don't like kids coming to state. As Mark talked about, we're only 6 weeks out for sectionals, and people still think you got time, but there becomes a point where you don't have time. And
Right.
even though he's not wrestling, and this guy definitely knows his way around the mat, obviously by being defending state champion, you can't what was the phrase he used me about wrestling? You can't mimic wrestling other than wrestling or something like that.
Yeah, there's no substitute for wrestling.
There's no substitute for wrestling other than wrestling. So, number 1 is Romani, a kid that I talked about at the beginning of the season. I just had a gut feeling beats Cade Kowalski this year. I think I'm really high on him now because he's just racking up wins. He wins Brecksville. He wins Top Gun. He's beat almost everyone to a pulp inside 270 here. So he's got no problems there.
Already beats Andrews in the room, man. That's pretty good.
That's not really saying much.
Oh, okay.
But, at number 2, we're going to go Cade Kowalski here. Again, we hear kind of murmurs that this kid maybe, another crazy thing about Cade Kowalski is we heard he actually got down to 45 for a tri-meet, weighed in, but didn't wrestle. And I don't sure if you can do that according to OSHA
You can
rules.
do it, but it doesn't mean you certify for that weight
Yeah, so
class.
who knows? Again, that's stuff that was on
Hearsay,
the forum. That's
yeah.
hearsay, so I'm really not sure what's going on well, but it just creates more mystery,
Question marks? Yeah.
marks, mystery of really what's going on with him. And him moving down to 45, just I don't see where it makes sense when he has Romani's number. But again, they know more about wrestling than I do, and I'm sure they see something they like, so whatever they do, I'm sure is in the best interest of that kid. At number 3, we're going with Ben Huff.
Yes.
State qualifier from Thomas Worthington, had a 3-2 loss to Rooney up at Marion Harding.
Yeah.
A solid kid, does wrestling 12 months a year. ITC favorite, we've liked this kid from day one, and he's a solid number 3 right now.
How about my 4?
At number 4, we're going with the second part of Nostein Squared. We're going with Nick Nostein, placed up at Top Gun recently, got second up at Old Tangy-Owen last week. Solid kid, wrestling well. Him and our number 5 guy, Brandon Goldsmith, had a 1-point match up at Medina. That could go either way. So just a great weight. Maybe we might see some 60s come down here. Maybe we might see some 45s come up. But right now, this is the 5 kids that we're ranking at 150 time at this point of the season. So
52. So we got 32, 38, 45, 52. Don't see your name? Go to the practice room. See your name? Go to the practice room. 7.3 coming at you. And now you are inside the circle.